War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This battle is brought to you by our channel members and FLGS partners, Warpfire Minis and X-Planet. We'd also like to give a big shout out to Baron of Dice for their support of the channel. We've long been fans of their incredible designs and have even ordered custom dice ourselves, so we're super excited to get to showcase their awesome work.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. In Ridge, we have an exciting game of Age of Sigmar ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Pulling out the Blades of Khorne, but we got some even bigger winged monsters to face off against them today.
Yeah, second time the big old dragons have been back on the table.
Yeah, we had Stormcast out back when the Draconith Skywing came out,
yes.
And it was on stream.
Yeah.
So we're getting them on the table for the first time in a proper battle report, so excited to play them myself, and yeah,
they were fun.
Big monsters. It is always fun when you run big models, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But looking at the mission today, we are playing Lines of Communication, so we got 3 objectives in the center of the table. It's hold 1, 2 more storing, but then whoever's going second in each battle round chooses a phase to disrupt, where when you spend command points on a 3-up, yep, they cost an additional command point, and if you choose not to pay the extra price, you just lose the original one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could make you a little bit more command point thirsty, which is always big. Mm-hmm. But Ridge, why don't you take us through your Blades of Khorne first?
Yeah, so I'm playing a little bit different of a Khorne list to what I've played, but it has a lot of the same staples. So I'm playing in Gore-Tide, actually, which gives me +1 to wound if I'm on an objective that I don't control, or wholly in your territory, which probably won't come up in this scenario. Yeah. So the list is, we got Scarbrand, because he's just sick. The Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, so the Whip Thirster, -1 to hit aura, amazing. He's got the command trait Firebrand for make him a priest. And then the Argath, King of Blades, turns off ward, so just take that in general, just when you're playing.
Yep, and I could give myself a turns off ward, so it's not irrelevant.
Could come up a little bit there, but just so good not to take. And then I have a slew of heroes, because I'm running a double Warlord. So we have the Banner of Blood on the Blood Secretor, which allows me to reroll charges, Holy 16.
Nice.
Love that artifact.
Yep.
And then we have a Slaughter Priest, a Blood Stoker, which allows mortals to run and charge, and a Rumgor Ritualist, which just has a sweet prayer and a prayer herself. Yeah, and then the list is 20 Blood Warriors, which I've never really ran the 20 block, so gonna try it out here. 3 Skull Crushers, a unit of 5 Dogs, a unit of 6 Furies, and a unit of 10 Blood Reavers. So just a slew of bunch of units.
Good variety.
Yeah, and usually I run a ton of MSU that die and you get Blood Tithe, but I'm trying out the Blood Warriors.
Because the rally on 4-ups, the recursion, the density can be tough to chew through.
Yeah, I feel like every Khorne, you can't go wrong with a Khorne list. Like you can just kind of throw in whatever you want. I play a lot more demons, so I'm gonna try to play some more. All the same tricks, right? It has all the same stuff.
A lot of the same.
And it's just so fun to play. So yeah, that's it. That's my list. So.
Nice. Well, as we said, I'm playing Draconith Skywing, so got all the big dragons out today. Led by Krondis here. We had Kirazai on last time, so excited to run him as the proper holy man Krondis, casting spells, and he's actually my general, mostly because he's got a big base. Neither of my heroes can take the traits or artifacts anyways.
Yeah, makes sense.
My other hero then is Ionis Driftborn, so he's got the auto prayer. Again, you can't really leverage a ton because you don't have a big prayer or spell lore with either of these models. Yep. But still a good piece on his own and has some very good tools.
Inspiring Presence,
yes,
very
exactly.
strong.
Reducing attacks down to 1.
Yes.
Or by 1.
Turning off Inspiring Presence, that's a big one.
Yeah, lots of things. Lots of tricks and good value in them still.
Yep.
And then I have a total of 6 of the Stormdrake Guard, 2 packed with swords, a 2 packed with lances, and then 2 singles out on my flanks to just kind of give me a few more bodies, spread out my units as much as I can, I guess.
It's hard because the battle line, like only the 2 packs count as battle line, so pretty standard.
Yeah, Krondis becomes battle line, so that's why this build is possible.
Yeah.
And we're seeing tournaments that start to creep up with people taking the Skywing out. It's got some good tools in it.
The monstrous actions are sweet.
Yes.
You saw when I ran it.
The heroic action too on like Krondis or someone.
Yeah.
This, similar, can't use Inspiring Presence.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely lots of good tools in here. But then today I did outdrop you here with just a battle regiment, and you were a bunch more drops ridge.
Yep.
So I am gonna give away first turn.
No way.
Yeah.
Just before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Onwards AOS. So if you haven't heard of them yet, they're just a coaching service led by our friend Darren Watson. So if you haven't checked them out, I got this sweet ass hoodie from them. So yeah.
Some amazing coaches from all over the world contributing there as well.
Yes,
so.
literally internationally. And they're always all over Discord. So I know just being in there, seeing people talking all the time about it. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, definitely do that.
But then on to the Battle Ridge, and we're going to jump into Blades of Khorne, turn 1.
Let's go.
While their foe chooses to disrupt the combat phase, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is surround and destroy. Then the Bloodthirster and Krondus both fail heroic leadership. The Bloodthirster chants for bronzed flesh, giving the Skull Crushers +1 to save. Then they're also whipped to fury by the Bloodstoker, letting them run and charge. The Slaughter Priest then chants for unholy flames, granting the Blood Warriors an additional rend, while the Ritualist chants for blood sacrifice and generates a blood tide. Looking to engage and pin back their enemy, the Skull Crushers use At the Double. The Bloodthirster uses Beckon the Hunt on the Skull Crushers, who then make an 11-inch charge and deal 5 mortal wounds on impact. Krondus then unleashes Hell, but deals just 1 mortal wound to the Skull Crushers. At the end of the charge phase, the Stormdrake Guard stuns the Skull Crushers, and Krondus roars them. The Stormdrake uses all-out defense as the Skull Crushers attack. Then they deal 2 damage to the dragon and 3 to Krondus. The first Stormdrake retaliates but deals no damage. Then Krondus uses all-out attack and also deals no damage. Last to fight, the other unit of Stormdrakes deal a whopping 2 wounds to the Skull Crushers. Tying up much of their enemy's force, the Blades of Khorne complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
All right, so back from Khorne, turn 1. What happened? I juiced up some Skull Crushers and gave them run and charge, gave them bronze flesh, and just pretty much
Tried to pin
all of your dragons, which they actually did quite well because they're a 2-up save already. So going to a 1-up save. Now we saw here there was a small interaction where on the charge, I had the 3d6 charge from the Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Now I needed to make sure, knowing that you disrupt the combat phase, I needed to make sure that I could tag the 2 pack of dragons, because if I didn't, you could have done your
pile in
action to not let me pile in, which would have not let me tag them, and then they would have been on the charge and doing more damage. So the single dragon did no damage, Krondus did no damage, and then the 2, I think I rolled 1/1 with the dragon attacks. So they're all like, I took 3 damage. The Unleash Hell 2, you rolled a 1, which was...
Could have been 6,
right?
Or
could have killed 1.
D6.
So yeah, they've done their job. And then everything else I'm just kind of fortifying in the middle, because with this battle plan, obviously.
I forgot to roll the last slay.
Oh, of your dragon yet?
No.
Boo. Yeah, so went for Surround and Destroy. Very easy one to do with Khorne. Turn 1, you got to set it for things like that. This is one where it's only 11 off the back, so it was easy to do. So that's pretty much it, and then we're gonna... Yeah,
you push to the middle, which I don't really want to meet you there, and I'd rather dance around a little bit, so... we're gonna try and kill some guys this turn, do a little more than 2 damage, but we'll just jump into Stormcast turn 1.
Sounds good.
On their back foot after the early strike, the Stormcast battle tactic is surround and destroy. Then Krondus uses heroic leadership, which the Bloodthirster fails. Ionis fails to chant for both Bless and Lightning Tempest and suffers 2 mortal wounds.
Nope, takes another mortal.
Good start.
Krondus casts Mystic Shield on the 2 Stormdrakes, and Atavistic Tempest reduces the Skull Crusher's armor save by 1. Looking to secure their battle tactic, the Stormdrake on the western flank uses At the Double. Krondis's Blazing Tempest deals 3 mortals to the Skull Crushers, while the Storm Drakes only account for 1 more wound. Lastly, the other unit of Storm Drakes deal 3 mortals to the Blood Warriors. At the end of the charge phase, Krondis fails Impact Tremors, and the Storm Drakes also fail to roar. The Storm Drake Guard lead the fighting and use all-out attack in the Inspired Triumph, but still only deal 5 damage to the Skull Crushers, who use all-out defense. The last Skull Crusher fights next and deals 1 damage to Krondis. The Bad Dragon then retaliates but can deal no damage in return. Slowed and unable to completely free themselves, the Stormcast complete their battle tactic but only score 3 points.
Stormcast turn 1. Obviously, getting pinned, that's the reason you do it, to tie up my stuff. And here worked out, didn't roll enough 1s and 2s for me over the course of the 2 combats, or the 2 rounds.
And even more so, failing the roar.
Failing the roar was big.
Yeah.
I went for Atavistic Tempest to reduce their save by 1.
Yeah, which is good.
There was a world in which I was actually just thinking of trying to just obliterate them and shooting and then be able to make a charge. But you put me in a tough spot. Obviously with the pinning, but also just putting everything in the center. It's like, I don't want to go into that without anything but my full force. And even like, I could have put stuff on both objectives to take 2 and get more. And I could have done that and a battle tactic this turn and scored 5 points. But my thought was, I'm going to go for a battle tactic that I know I can get now. And potentially, I don't know that was the right call, because I'm potentially going to run out of battle tactics later in the game.
Yes.
Now, damned if you do, damned if I don't. I only got 3 points in the end. Either I arguably dropped 2 points now to get 2 points later, which is that going to change the world? We'll see.
The tactic thing is the hard part, right? Because you wanted to get rid of this because you can't do it. You're not going to be able to do surround later. So there aren't very many good ones with this. So that part makes sense for sure. Yes.
There was a world in which, like, I could have, you mentioned it, retreated out and hit this objective.
Yes, outsides.
But it's just not going to solve this problem. You're going to be able to keep doing the same thing with Murder Lust and just keep tying me up in combat.
Yeah, just pushing them in.
My hope was to just finish off this unit, get them out of the way.
Which you probably should have, but exactly.
Yeah, didn't quite get there. Yeah, that's about all there is to say. Ionis did not have a great day today, or a great start to the praying.
Rolled 2 1s on both prayers.
Yeah, Sigmar is not listening today, but not feeling great about the spot that I'm in. You can leverage a lot. We got a Mystic Shield on these dragons, but it's potentially going to be a spicy round 2.
Yes.
So let's jump into it. That's a 3.
Battle dice. You want it, my friend.
All right. And I think I'm in a position where I have to take it, or it's beneficial to take it. Opens me up to the double, but yeah.
I was okay kind of either way.
Exactly. So with that, we will jump into Stormcast turn 2.
Sounds good.
Looking to recover from their slow start, the Stormcast battle tactic is bait and trap, and the Blades of Khorne disrupt their combat phase.
So, bait and trap, heroic action. Krondis will use a command point or do heroic leadership. Yep.
I think again I'm going to do CP. Because I don't need him. No, fail.
The Blood Sea Crater rallies 1 Blood Warrior. Ionis chants for Lightning Tempest.
D3 to them.
Okay.
1.
No, it's a prayer.
Yeah. Okay, and then on 3 up goes to your Blood Sea Crater. Yes. For 3.
Nice. Here?
Sorry, Slaughter Priest is who I meant. Because he's not within 3. So we'll go for the Bloodthirster, because then I can still go to Starbrand.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
For 3 to the Bloodthirster. Starbrand. Yep. For 3.
Okay.
This is a interesting dice. Blood Sea Crater. Yes. For 3. And then the Ritualist. No.
Pretty good.
He deals a total of 13 mortal wounds, then heals himself with Sigmar's Grace. Krondis casts Mystic Shield on the Stormdrakes, then he casts an Arcane Bolt and unleashes it, but it's ignored by the Skull Crushers. Ionis shoots and deals 2 damage to the lone Skull Crusher, while the Stormdrakes both fail to hit him at all. One Stormdrake then deals 3 mortals to the Furies, while another misses the Blood Warriors. Ionis stomps and finishes off the Skull Crusher, while the one Stormdrake fails Impact Tremors and the other fails to roar. The Stormdrake on the western flank starts the fighting and takes out the Bloodreavers. The other Stormdrake is disrupted and unable to use all-out defense, but although the Fleshhounds use all-out attack, they can only deal 1 wound to the dragon. The Stormdrake then retaliates and deals 7 damage to the Demon Dogs. Re-establishing their presence, the Stormcast complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Stormcast turn 2, and pretty reserved, nothing too crazy. I killed a couple units actually. Did get my battle tactic of retreat to charge 2. Again, felt like a good one that I had the opportunity, and it's situational. Might not get the opportunity to get it later, so obviously a good time to do it. Then kind of just pivoted my force around, so to give you some harder problems, I guess. If I'm too spread out, you can focus all on one side and then move across. But right now, I'm trying to put you in that spot where wherever you go, I can kind of come in or come back and answer.
Yeah.
That's the hope, at least. I, again, killed 2-3 units almost here. So gave you a couple blood tithe, but kind of put the ball in your court now. You do, again, still have that centralized power, but this is the point now you have to think about breaking out of the castle and...
either with being on the bottom now, possibly playing a little bit reserved in case I win prio, but also in a position where I can, you want to do something, but maybe not overcommit. And tactics are hard for Khorne as well. It's not just you that's going to struggle with certain tactics. We didn't talk about the crazy... I was going to say, I was waiting for it. Ionis making up for turn 1. Popped off for 11. Did 3, 13. 3. I made a couple wards, and then finally... A good chain lightning there, dealing a bunch of mortal wounds. Then, again, I want to take down those heroes, so that's why that prior is so good, because I was chipping a bunch of your heroes. I thought about something like Smite, but it's only 1 mortal wound, so... A 6 on D3, or D3 on 6. Kind of spicy with the 6, but not worth the gamble. That's it for my turn, though. Again, putting the ball in your court, I guess, and we'll see how you answer. Going into Blades of Khorne, turn 2. Let's do it.
With the rest of their force eager to join the fight, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom. The Bloodthirster then heroically recovers 2 wounds, and Ionis uses their finest hour. The Slaughter Priest chants for Blood Boil and finishes off the single Stormdrake. Then the Ritualist fails their chant for Blood Sacrifice. The Bloodthirster also fails his chant for Bloodbind and suffers 1 mortal wound. In the shooting phase, the Bloodthirster tries to whip Krondys, but he uses all-out defense and takes no damage. As Skarbrand charges in, the Stormdrakes unleash hell and deal 4 mortals to the Furious Demon. The Bloodthirster fails to roar the Stormdrakes, who in turn fail to use Impact Tremors. Krondys then stuns Skarbrand, making him -1 to wound in combat, and Ionis targets him with Titanic Duel. As Skarbrand attacks, Krondys is disrupted from using all-out defense, and he suffers 11 damage from the Demon's Blades. Still alive, Krondys fights next and deals 6 damage to the Bloodthirster, who uses all-out defense. The Bloodthirster fights back, dealing 6 damage as well, and he finishes off Krondys. Ionis then piles in to attack and takes out Skarbrand. Last to fight, the Stormdrake guards deal 4 damage to the Bloodthirster and finish off the last Fleshhound. With the battle raging and blood flowing, the Blades of Khorne complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
So we are back from Khorne turn 2. Some wild stuff happened.
Yep, big turn.
Yeah.
Few big guys going down.
Yes, a few crazy interactions with the not piling in, which as it was kind of coming up,
The monstrous action,
The monstrous actions are just so much with playing against these dragons is like...
They're very good.
Yeah. And then a few small things that were like really would have been really cool to do. So I failed the Bloodbind, which would have made this whole situation so much different. I wanted to pull these 2 dragons, 8 towards me outside of 3 of my Bloodthirster. So it would have worked perfectly within 3 of my dog. So then no redeploy. You didn't really do it anyways. But that would have just been a whole nother layer of coolness. That's what I love with Khorne. But end of the day, I went for Lead in the Maelstrom, knowing that I'm probably not going to take out the dragons if I kill Krondys, and then vice versa.
And the dragons had Mystic Shield, so plus Krondys is your grand strategy.
Yes, that's the big reason why I really wanted to get Scarburn into him, and even though he died, that's 2 blood type for me. Denies your grand strat, so big win for me. So what you probably saw on the top down...
it scores your grand strat. It doesn't deny mine.
Scores my grand strat. What you saw on the top down was I made a 13-inch charge with Scarbrand. Originally, I actually pulled these guys out, so I made a small movement error. They weren't wholly within 16 to get the 3d6 charge, because I wanted all those Blood Warriors just in there, just tying up these guys and just doing whatever, Mortal Wounds back. So I made a 13-inch charge with Scarbrand because I failed this one. I was outside of 3d6, and then I was just barely within 3 of the Krondys, within 3 of Ionis because I couldn't avoid it, and just outside of 2 of both of them. So had Jordan rolled the 3 up to make me not pile in, I wouldn't have been able to pile in and attack Krondys, and I wouldn't have been able to hit Ionis. I would have had to hit the Mystic Shielded Dragons, which I
not
rolled
ideal.
Absolutely terrible. So you did the -1 to wound, which you did get off, which here we see it's the best debuff in the game.
It's very, very impactful.
One of the best. So I had 8 attacks, or 7 because of the -1. 2s and 3s, I put through I think 4, and then I rolled 3 2s of my 4 wounding. So I put 1 through and did 3 damage to him.
Just as planned, but he still went down in the end.
He still went down because Jordan wasn't able to take out with the -1 to hit from the Unfettered Fury, which is just so strong too. So,
it was a very interesting turn of like abilities, and especially the monstrous actions of which ones to use. Even for me, who do I use Titanic Duel with, and the other ones? Because here I used Titanic Duel with Ionis, which allowed me to be on 2s and 2s there. But had I have done it differently, Krondys could have potentially been
killed the Bloodthirster, who then wouldn't have been able to fight back and kill him.
So you never know. He could have still gone down to what's his name. All would have been better if I didn't let Starbrand pile in.
Yes,
that's basically what dictated, because then I didn't count on him living, didn't want to do Titanic Duel with him.
And then I also disrupted the combat phase, so it was like another layer of like possibly you only have 1 CP left.
You failed your roar, so
so just so many.
I knew it at the time, and I said it at the time. You did all defense and shooting was not worth it.
So he had his 4 lash attacks could do D3. So,
but on that low volume, you're gonna on average put like 2 through if you're
2s
lucky.
and 3s, should be 2, 1 or 2.
And then most likely it's irrelevant. The +1 is
all the defense for sure.
It was a poor decision.
Yes, with the disruption, but all of that stuff in together. And then I forgot something as well, which hopefully will come up later.
Rich isn't telling me what.
Not telling Jordan yet what. And I also made a dumb bonehead move. They were within 3 of these guys at the beginning, so I could have just did the whip them, and then they could have ran and charged. So that's what I was saying when I was in movement, and I was already past it, so I'm like, I'm not going to go back and whatever. So I didn't. They could have ran and charged and been all up in there, which, you know.
Honestly, I don't feel that bad about it.
Middle.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, they're holding 2 objectives for you. Otherwise, I easily have 2 without contesting.
And I got a whack of Blood Tithe for that whole all that stuff happening.
We are into Prio for round 3.
Prio turn 3,
That's a 3.
Hold ties, my friend.
I'm gonna win ties. Look at that, Rich.
I know. God, I actually like these Khorne dice too, so it's not their fault. But
and with that, we're obviously going to go into Stormcast turn 3.
Sounds good.
Primed to exact Sigmar's revenge, the Stormcast battle tactic is reprisal, and Ionis uses heroic leadership while the Bloodsecrator fails. Ionis auto-chants Lightning Tempest, dealing 8 mortal wounds and killing the Slaughter Priest. At the end of the hero phase, the Bloodsecrator uses Murderlust and moves 4 inches. As Ionis moves forward aggressively, the Furies redeploy and move 5 inches. Ionis uses all-out attack and his dragon takes down the Blood Secretor with its spirit-scouring flames. 2 Storm Drakes then deal 6 mortal wounds and take down the Bloodthirster, which also secures their battle tactic. The other 2 dragons deal 6 mortals to the Blood Warriors, and the last one deals 2 more. Ionis uses forward to victory, but can only make it into the Furies. The 2 Storm Drakes use impact tremors so the Blood Warriors are unable to pile in. Then the lone dragon stomps, and Ionis roars the Furies. The lone Storm Drake fights first and takes down the Bloodstoker, then the Furies use sneaky little devils to retreat from combat. The last Storm Drakes are disrupted and unable to use all-out attack, though they still deal 8 damage to the Blood Warriors through all-out defense. But the dragons suffer 5 mortals in return. After combat, 5 more Blood Warriors flee to Battle Shock. Finally, answering the challenge to fight in the center, the Stormcast Eternals complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Stormcast turn 3, and we got what we needed.
Yeah.
Would have liked a little bit more here, but can't complain really, right? Took out the Bloodthirster, that was the battle tactic. Reprisal, opening that up wasn't the worst thing because again, Stormcast doesn't have great battle tactic, or this subfaction is limited. Stormcast in general isn't great either, but here I basically was able to start throwing everything into combat. My dragons popped off in shooting, which is great on one hand, but on the other, it actually meant I didn't get a bunch of my charges in. These dragons were only an 8-inch charge originally, or like a 7 or 8 or something. Ionis was at 3 before casualties, but neither of them made it into those guys.
Yeah, you rerolled Ionis a 3 into a 3.
Yes. You think if either of them makes it in, I killed 2 more Blood Warriors, like
that could be the unit gone.
Yeah. I guess I need to deal 6 more damage to remove the last 5 guys.
Yeah, with Battle Shock because of the no inspiring presence, which is huge. Yeah.
But the other big thing this turn, again, Ionis with the Lightning Tempest, ripping through your little block of heroes.
Good. All that prayer. It's
just roll 4-ups and 3 mortals.
Yeah, for some reason this game, it's like you failed a couple of the 3-ups for the monster's actions, but every D3 has seemed to be a 3.
Yeah.
Just like 3 to this guy, 3 to this guy.
Exactly.
Play Croak. There you
except the Blood Secretor only took 2, so he was alive on 1. But Ionis chased him down to get his shots in.
Yes. And I'm just a bonehead. I was like really trying to make sure the charge wasn't going to get me. Then Jordan's like, okay, I'll just shoot the Blood Secretor. Because you're within 12.
Yeah, we're not all Khorne. Some of us have shooting.
Yeah, so that was it. Because now that's what I was alluding to earlier. I was saving, I forgot to do the +1 attack banner. So I'm like alluding to, I can do it later. But now he's dead. So I didn't get to do.
And otherwise, I killed the Bloodstoker as well, so you got a ton of Blood Tithe out of the turn. Yeah. But that's not the worst, because you were at the point to summon some big stuff anyways, or have big options. It is what it is, right? I knew that was coming, so might as well just try and take things down as much as I can. Yep. The Bloodstoker was really the big one, because it denies the 4-up rally on the Blood Warriors.
Yes, which is huge here.
Yeah, so.
Bringing 5 of them back would have been tasty.
Yeah. For sure, but yeah, that's it. That's where we're sitting for Stormcast, and we'll go into Blades of Khorne turn 3.
Let's do it.
Always ready to fight to the death, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is intimidate the invaders. Then the Ritualist and Ionis both use heroic leadership. The Ritualist chants for Blood Hex, which reduces Ionis' combat attacks by 1. At the end of the movement phase, the Blades of Khorne spend 8 Blood Tithe points to summon 20 Bloodletters. The Bloodletters use forward to victory and make their charge, then the Storm Drakes stomp them. The Storm Drakes then fail to use all-out defense, and the Bloodletters deal 9 damage when they attack. The Storm Drake then retaliates and deals 3 damage back to the Bloodletters. As reinforcements pour in from the Realm of Chaos, the Blades of Khorne complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Back from Blades of Khorne, turn 3. Went for the big play here. Now, I should have went all in, and the only little mistake I made is thinking I could throw this guy over here and then possibly Murderlust if you win Prio. The only thing is I should have probably kept him over here so that I could have issued all attack.
The Ritualist, yeah.
Yes, because it's only Holy 12.
You had the CP from Heroic Leadership.
1 CP, exactly. Thinking I need the double, so yeah, that's just a dumb mistake. I should have just made sure and got rid of it because that possibly could have taken him down. Yep. He has 4 wounds left, so there are ways to still do that.
I was stopped from using CP again in combat from the disruption.
Yes.
Which, notably though, I've been knowing I'm taking a risk by only leaving 1 CP left, but each time you've rolled the 3 up, so it's reliable, but...
For sure, and same with, and then you decided to go for the -1 to wound here instead of the minusing attacks, because I was already getting
Or instead of the no pile-in,
Or the no pile-in, because I was already getting 16, so the extra 4, which was smart. And
could have been life or death.
Yeah, the mortals and everything, and just any little bit of mortals throughout the game. It's been like
you only needed 4 more damage.
Yeah, so close. Yeah. So I'm still gonna get 5. Like I'm getting my tactic and everything here, but now the prio is gonna be big here.
Yes.
And
let's get into it.
We'll have to look and see what options we have after this.
Yeah, round 4.
Yes, let me win 1. Come on.
That's a 5.
No,
Bridge rolls a 5 as well.
Jesus.
And I think that means it's gonna be a Stormcast turn 4.
Come on, Khorne. Let's go.
Looking to respond to this new demonic threat, the Stormcast battle tactic is led into the Maelstrom. Ionis uses Heroic Leadership while the Ritualist uses their Finest Hour. Then the Blood Warriors rally 2 models. Ionis then chants for Lightning Tempest, but only deals 1 mortal to the Ritualist. Spouting his Fiery Breath, Ionis' dragon deals 2 damage to the Ritualist. The 2 single dragons then deal a combined 12 mortal wounds, and the remaining dragons deal 5 mortals to finish off the Ritualist. The dragons stomp and stun the Bloodletters, making them -1 to wound on their attacks, but they fail Impact Tremors and to roar. The 2 Storm Drakes lead the fighting and use all-out attack, then deal 12 damage to the Bloodletters, who use all-out defense. The wounded dragon is disrupted from using all-out defense, and the Bloodletters take it down. But then the demons flee to Battleshock. Quickly dispatching the demonic threat, the Stormcast Eternals complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Stormcast turn 4, and we are continuing to unleash the devastation, especially in shooting where we did 3 dragons combined for 17 mortal wounds.
Double 6 and then D6 each. Double 6, 12 mortals. Yeah. Always feels good.
12 into the Bloodletters, 12 mortals, and then 5 exactly, or it was a 1 overkill to finish off the Ritualist.
Yes.
There were some interesting things here though. I almost went for one of the sub-faction battle tactics to like use monstrous actions on 1 unit, like 3 of them.
Yep.
Which in hindsight would have been okay. I think it would have worked out. The kink in the plan though was the Ritualist doing Murder Lust to tag me in combat. But I still, that's why I went for Legend of the Maelstrom, because I had Ionis' shooting, I did the Mortal in the hero phase, which I wanted to do more, but then I also would have the Dragon shooting, where even if you did that, I felt confident I could get out of combat and then still charge in.
Yes, and there is a world that Jordan was kind of alluding to there, that when he first did Legend of the Maelstrom, I'm like, okay, sweet, this is why I positioned, I can Murder Lust in,
tag me.
But then you kill her in shooting, and then charge the Bloodletters here. Yeah. So, but there is a world where she doesn't go down in shooting, and then
she was only like Ionis shot her.
Or actually, she would have survived because you only put 2 through.
No, she died in shooting, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, to the dragons, right?
Yes.
So there's a world where you don't miss those dragons as well, right? And then she survives and denies your tactic. Yeah. So good thing I didn't do that because she did.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have just been a waste of a blood tithe.
But that's kind of what the interaction there. Yeah.
But that's it for the Stormcast turn. It's a close game on the scoreboard. So, and we already know you have your grand strategy confirmed, so.
You can never count Khorne out. There's always this is the end game of Khorne, is always so many just
lots to play for, but that's gonna be it, and we'll go into
Khorne.
Blades of Khorne, turn 4.
Let's go.
With skulls still to be claimed and blood left to be spilled, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is no cowards among us, and Ionis uses Heroic Leadership. The Stormdrakes unleash hell and deal 4 damage to the Furies, then Ionis stomps and finishes them off. Losing out after a slight misstep, the Blades of Khorne complete their battle tactic, but only score 3 points.
All right, so back from Blades Khorne turn 4. So many things I could have done here, and just so many tricks with Khorne. But the big thing is with the Furies. There's such an incredible unit, because at the start of the combat phase, they can retreat.
Or when they activate.
When they activate, they can retreat.
Yeah.
So what I did is I left the Blood Warriors out, thinking I could just charge the 3 Furies here, and then activate with them first, and move 12, and get outside and take this point, so the outside points. Now, I wasn't, for some reason, thinking of Unleash Hell again, which this happened multiple times, like I've been shot by it already. So I took, 4 damage from the 2 Stormdrake, so you rolled 2d3. So that's lots of dice involved in this. Yeah. But you rolled 2d3, did 4 damage, and then he stomped and did 3 and killed them. Yeah. So what I should have done, but the smart thing would have been to move the Blood Warriors.
No, because you didn't need to run them.
No, I could have easily just moved outside of 3 here, charge the Blood Warriors in, within 3 of both of them, then charge the Furies in, which I did, and just stay outside of 6 of the back guy, so only 1 of the dragons would have been able to shoot at me at 6.
A lot of little things, but it was possible.
Very possible. Like, for the caliber of player I hold myself to, I definitely did that poorly. So yes, so they died, and I'm
that's 2 point difference.
Ashamed of that, because I could have got 5 again with barely any models, and then into 5 I could summon 10 blood.
And smartly, I was like thinking of that or trying to summon onto it. You smartly also stayed outside of 9, so I couldn't redeploy.
That's what I mean. Like, I make all these smart things, and then
you forget about Unleash Hell.
Unleash Hell, which is like,
game defining.
I still have a play because I am gonna win priority one of these times, and I have 5 blood tithes. Ooh, I have 6 blood tithes because the Furies died.
Yep.
So all we need is 1 little prio win.
But we know how easily 1 person can win all the prios in a game.
Yes. So
that's a 4.
I just need a 5 up. Yep. Easy 6, Khorne, baby. Let's go.
Only Ridge.
You know it.
But
I still have to make a charge. But.
Yes. Oh yeah. Lots to play for still.
Yeah,
we're gonna go into it.
I'm gonna take the turn. Yes.
Blades of Khorne, turn 5.
Let's go.
While scrambling to rip the flesh until they fall, the Blades of Khorne have no achievable battle tactic. Then Ionis uses heroic leadership. At the end of the movement phase, the Blades of Khorne summon a Bloodmaster to tag the eastern objective. As the Blood Warriors charge, Ionis unleashes hell and deals 3 damage to them. The Stormdrake stuns the Blood Warriors, making them -1 to wound in combat. The Blood Warriors then use all-out attack, and while the Stormdrake defends, he still suffers 4 wounds. Ferociously retaliating, the Stormdrake deals 7 damage and kills 4 Blood Warriors.
All right, so 3 died within 3, so murder rolls 2 each, so 6 dice. He's got how many wounds left?
3 wounds left.
3 wounds left. 5 ups. Let's go, baby. Please.
Looking for 3.
Looking for 5s.
That's
3 5s. Let's go. Khorne always finds a way, baby.
The remaining Blood Warriors flee to Battle Shock. Ruthlessly taking down yet another descendant of Dracothian, the Blades of Khorne fail their battle tactic, but score 3 points.
All right, baby, we are back. One of those moments that you love to see, and somehow paid off. Blood Warriors.
Miracle rolls on the combat.
I will never, ever talk badly about Mortals or Blood Warriors again, because they saved my butt here. Incredible. So the murder rolls back. I somehow actually did 6 damage to those dragons.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how.
In combat with all-out defense and -1 to wound on you.
2s and 5s, I put through 5.
Somehow you should not have done 6 damage in combat.
Not even close. The Gorglaive as well was put through all 4. So he put through both, and then you failed both. So, oh my gosh.
I think I made 1 of those, but
he did 2 more.
Regardless, 6 damage was swinging way above their weight with what you had there, and the debuffs, and all-out defense.
And after Unleash Hell,
I had 5 saves from the regular attacks, failed 4 of them on 3 ups.
Absolutely.
Make 1 of those and I'm alive.
Yes. So we were going through the math, and it was insane that if that didn't happen, that's the only way I could have won. is if I killed that single dragon, which will deny your grand strat,
Yeah.
and I somehow get more,
which summoning
I'm able to summon just
16
barely.
inches away
Yeah.
is huge, is
Just
wild.
barely get this blood.
You did get
master.
one model on there, so it didn't matter what you put.
Yes.
Smartly, obviously, again, not letting me redeploy.
Even when you charged here, did you need to not?
In hindsight, I could have
tiny.
maybe... No, I did, because they're only 1 inch range. So,
To get them all in to kill
yes,
more bloodletters.
the bloodletters.
Just so many crazy little things. So yeah, and then I did keep 3 blood tide just in case Jordan was going to be able to heal that dragon.
Yeah, for 3 wounds.
But then I possibly could have meteored him off. That was a backup play. But
That was a backup to try and take down the dragon. But
yeah.
here on my turn now, we can just talk it through quick. It
Yep.
doesn't really matter.
So I'm gonna get 3 essentially.
You're getting 3 on your turn for just hold 2 and more.
Yeah.
I have Intimidate still available to me, so easy battle tactic. I want to take the objective back to get maximum points.
Yep.
So I'm going to do this. I don't actually, it doesn't matter if I keep my stuff together now.
You're gonna get 5 no matter what.
I'll send him over there just to be a dink.
Why?
Deny it for you. I have the whole battlefield.
Yeah.
But
Such a dragon thing to do.
this will get me 5 points for the round.
Yes.
But being that you took down Cronus, get your grand strategy, that's going to pull you
No
ahead.
wizards.
1 point at the end of the game.
You love to see it.
Which again, we've had a few games, crazy sequence of events.
Yes.
Needing that turn 5 prio. Now you didn't get earlier ones.
Yes.
But then needing a lot to happen on this turn. But
One prio of a 6 roll at the end too.
Yeah, 1 in 1,000 to get all that together. But it's cool when it happens. Even if, no matter what side you're on.
And it's always with Khorne. I always say it. It's like they always have these every little tiny thing at the end of the end game. It's like with chess. It's like there's so many.
Blades of Khorne have been one of the best performing armies lately. You can see why. Like Soul Blight, like Flesh Eater's Will.
OBR.
Like, you just have so many tools.
Yeah.
When you have recursion or summoning, it's just such an incredible.
It's crazy that you can still summon, even if you would have exploded.
I had a thought, like we talked about it, if I smashed a Rebel, it doesn't matter because it's not on the War Scroll.
Exactly.
You can still summon it from the Allegiance abilities.
Yeah.
So a little, obviously, from a Stormcast side, disappointing not to pull out the win right at the end or to lose that dragon so unheroically.
You played that like picture perfect though. Like your turn 2 of like kind of getting out and then me going fully in, Scarbrand going and killing him and you dying.
I mean, there's little things like...
To maybe keep him alive,
Like, do I just, especially knowing that I was taking turn 2, the Mr. Shield should have gone down to Cronus.
Yes.
I think that's one thing. You kill 2 dragons, not the worst, but that's my general. So that's something, learning, hindsight, easy to say, like 2020.
Tactic-wise, you played it because it's super hard for tactics, and you
I was,
very good with them.
And there's 2 dragon ones in this fashion that are good, and I didn't have to use them.
All 3 doing a monstrous action. Yeah, that's a solid one.
And then having 3 dragon units attack 1 target, so could have done that into the Bloodletters or something.
Getting an early reprisal and bait and trap is huge. Like if you can do that with a...
And that's why bait and trap was so important turn 1. Now again...
Surround, you mean.
Oh, surround and destroy, sorry.
Yeah.
But 2 points here, 2 points there, it might not have made a difference, but hey, you tie me up pinning for that 1 turn, stop me from getting 2 and more.
Somehow them surviving.
That lets you hold on for the win at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy, like...
That single Skull Crushers, same thing. Skull Crushers and Blood Warriors.
And this is where, in hindsight, 2020, again, I could have left Ionis over here to put his mortal wound thing on them, or shoot them. If he does a damage, that's another damage or another mortal at the end of the next hero phase.
Yep.
So that's potentially enough to flip it. I talked about casting an Arcane Bolt, went for Atavistic Tempest for the -1.
Yep.
What would have, D3 mortals might have been more than I did in combat there because I failed the roar.
I didn't roll the 5 up that one.
So little things, again, there's little things always every game, but it's the best games are when it comes down to those little things you think of that could change the outcome. Very exciting, very fun.
This was an insane game. Yeah, the monstrous actions, the not piling in is I played it with it and now against it. It's just game-breaking good against certain units.
And that's one of the strong things about this subfaction. Now, this is one of the few armies of renown that are seeing play competitively and doing all right.
Yeah.
And you can see like that tool of no pile-in on any of your units being able to do that. That's not reliable, as we saw here today.
You rolled the 2 a few times.
I rolled it once. I got one, I think it was 1 for 4, 1 for 5 on that.
Yeah.
But it can be game breaking.
Yes.
So situation
Glad it's a
very
3 up,
good.
not a 2 up though. Like that is.
But when you have so many monsters and monstrous actions, you have potentially 3 or 4 monstrous actions that can be crippling to units, right? Minus like stopping a roar,
minus 1 to wound as well.
Minus 1 to wound, no piling.
I feel like after I played it, same thing. It was like, it's super good, but it's a 3-up. So, you know, and same with mine. Remember, I think I failed that the same, like the first 3 or 4 times. And it's like, But
it is very cool, very fun to play this as you know, any monster
dragons are sweet,
mash army. So I loved it. Can't be too sad about it. But then Khorne, comparing him to Karazai, both are good. Both have their merits. I didn't end up doing all
Magic Dom,
but it can be very good.
Oh yeah.
In a Magic meta, like having wizards is important, like for unbinds and whatnot.
If you weren't in the position to do bait and trap and reprisal like that as well, right? Like there's not that many great tactics. So opening Magic Dom, I feel, is really strong for this regimen now.
Yeah.
And you know, Karazai does more damage.
But Karazai could have clawed himself out of that. Maybe one more hit through or something.
He does quite a bit more. Yeah. He's sweet. I don't know. I think I like Karazai better, but he's +2 or +3? Like it's
+3 to cast.
Yeah,
is very
-1
good.
to save. Like he's Khorne
it's very solid. So and then I guess last thing to mention, although we lost, my MVP was definitely Ionis here with the mortals on the lightning.
Was incredible against this, and just for how many 3s.
Yeah,
you know,
it was above average here, but you see, obviously a lot of strength in this book still, going toe to toe with one of the top armies.
Yeah, and just being able to autocast, right? Because here it was like, you never know, you might fail it, but like, nope.
Okay, there's no other critical prayer. Let's do it.
Kill this. So it's pretty big.
Yep, for sure. It's a great one.
Yeah, for me, Khorne, I don't play this often, like the mortals. So, you know, I'm a bigger fan of like the bloodletters and the demons, but so good. Like still similar pieces. Like the -1 to hit thirster is just crazy utility. And the 3d6 charge. Scarbrand, pinning with the skull crusher.
Way more resiliency.
Yeah. And the Blood Warriors with Murderlust and with you know, just kind of positioning, super strong. So you, like I said in the beginning, Khorne is just, you can just pick random units in the book and you'll be able to. But
there's a lot of weird obscure units in Khorne.
You're right. But like a lot of the units you can pick and still have a pretty good list of just like Ruben plays, like just a bunch of
MSU
units and just
you just
going out
play the points,
tagging stuff, getting your tactics.
Make combat engagements and target priority really difficult.
Yeah.
Tagging stuff. Yeah.
Grand Strat's a problem, but that's okay, right? If they had a really good Grand Strat as well, it would be A tier, or sorry, S tier. I think it's already probably, you know, A+ or S- tier.
Yeah, for sure. Very solid though. Awesome name here.
Yes.
All the wizards are dead, so the grand strategy coming in clutch at the end for the Blades of Khorne.
Yes.
But that's going to be it for us here tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all the support. Don't forget, if you want extra content, more battle reports, and to help support the channel, you can do so by hitting the join button below this video. But either way, thanks so much, and we'll see you soon in the next one.
Have a good week, everyone.